Hello, friends. Welcome back to Rise and Fly Weight Loss Journey. I'm Cara, and today I'm sharing my week 2 update as I move into week 3 on Zepbound. Overall, I would say this past week has been pretty good. I've definitely noticed that my appetite is still even more um, managed, it's lower, which has been really helpful. And in many ways, I feel like I'm starting to settle into a new rhythm in that regard. But there were a couple of things that I want to talk about that happened this week. One thing I've still been experiencing, although a little less than before, is swelling in my ankles and calves. So I decided to get new compression socks and I love them. I'll share them with you at some point. I like them because they're specifically made for larger calves. And so they're more comfortable than some that I've had. And they were really helpful this week. I've also been more intentional about drinking my water. And I do think that's making a difference. I can still do better though. Another experience I had this week was a really important reminder for me. One day, because my appetite was so low, I ended up working through lunch and didn't even think about it. And I didn't eat when I should have, like for hours and hours. So later in the day, I tried to make up for it by eating more than I normally would have to get all my macros in, especially my protein. And I also ate a little too quickly. That evening, I felt a bit nauseated. And then during the night, I woke up feeling unwell and I ended up getting sick. That was not fun. After that, I felt much better though. And I will say though, it's been a really clear reminder for me that this medication is going to mean that I really need to be intentional about eating smaller amounts, more slowly, and consistently throughout the day. So for the rest of the week, I was much more mindful about that, and everything was great. I made sure to eat smaller portions and not rush through meals, and that helped a lot. And so now I do want to share something that was a bit discouraging. When I did my weigh in this morning, my weight, to my chagrin, was actually up 4 pounds. And I'll be honest, that was not at all what I was expecting. Um, I'm reminding myself that this journey is not just about the number on the scale. And there are so many factors that I know can affect weight from day to day, including things like water retention, inflammation, and digestion. And speaking to inflammation, I have had a lot more pain over the last few days as the weather has been changing. First it was hot and then it got cool and now it's warm again. So I always feel those changes. So I'm keeping that in mind as well. And especially since I'm seeing the actual swelling in my ankles, I know that water weight is probably a part of that too. So instead of being discouraged, I'm choosing to stay positive. I'm going to be patient with myself and with the process, and I'm going to be consistent because this journey is not about quick results. I'm going to have to be really focused on not getting discouraged by seeing the opposite. That's not the point. So it's about building habits that will support my health long term. What I'm focusing on this week, let's talk about that. As I move into this next week, there are a few things that I'm going to be more intentional about. I want to make sure I'm eating consistently throughout the day, even if I'm not hungry. And that means eating every 3 to 4 hours or so, even if it's something small like yogurt, a protein shake, or a boiled egg. I'm also going to continue focusing on eating slowly and stopping when I feel comfortably full, not let myself be overly full. That experience this week really reminded me how important that is, and I don't want to go there again. Third, I'm going to stay consistent with my hydration. I'm going to get more water in, and drinking enough water and adding my electrolytes has already been helpful, and I'm going to keep that going. Fourth, I want to become um, a little more active. I want to continue incorporating more gentle movement, especially walking, and I want to use my resistance bands more, just so that I'm building muscle as I am on this journey. Finally, I'm reminding myself to keep the right mindset. This is where Rise really comes in to help me. I want to remind you what that means for me because you can adopt it for yourself too. Renew my mind, intentionally nourish my body, strengthen healthy habits, and embrace progress. This week, embracing progress means not getting discouraged by one number on the scale, but continuing to show up and take care of myself. I want to encourage you. If you're also on a journey like this, take heart. We have to know that there will be ups and downs. We have to know that there will be weeks that look exactly how we hoped and others that don't. But that doesn't mean that we're not making progress. Let's breathe that in. That doesn't mean we're not making progress. Sometimes progress is happening in ways that we can't immediately see. And the fact that we're just not giving up is a huge win. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for walking this journey with me. Until next time, let's rise and fly.